Hi there, my name's Andrew John Rainey, and I am the author of Spirits of Vengeance, The Stone of Spirits. It's my new debut fantasy novel. It's out now on paperback and ebook. And welcome back to my book blog, where I'm discussing the various aspects of writing, producing and marketing your book if you're a self-published author. Now, a few people have said I've been a little bit stiff in front of the camera in the last few blogs. I do apologise, I'm not very good at talking in front of the camera. I'm using directing actors behind it. So I'm trying to do a little bit better, and I'm making this one a little bit more fun, as you'll see by the very bright hat that I have on. So why am I wearing this hat, you ask? Well, this hat was originally worn by Jane Cobb on Firefly, fans will know it. This is the guy, if you've not seen him. Now, there's a reason I'm mentioning Firefly, but just before I do that, I'll sing the song that Jane is known by for a little bit of entertainment. Jane, the man they call Jane. He robbed from the rich and he gave to the poor. Stood up to the man and he gave him what's for. His love for him now ain't hard to explain. The hero of Canton, the man they call Jane. There's a second verse, I won't bother with that. Now, Firefly was a great show that was badly put out on television. It was aired in the wrong order, and as a result it got cancelled with half a season done. Only 13 episodes were filmed, but it was a great concept by Joss Whedon. It had a great cast, they gelled well together, and they were very well cast in the roles that they were playing. Especially Nathan Fillion as Captain Mal Reynolds. People still recognise him for that role, even though he's gone on to do various and better things. But why am I mentioning Firefly? After Firefly was cancelled, fans, outraged, made their voices heard, and they'd done it through a variety of different ways. Now, this was back in the day before Twitter and Facebook were very popular, so they used other forms of medium, but they managed to get the film Serenity made. Without their voices, Serenity would never have been made. Joss Whedon was given a $40 million budget to go make a film version of Firefly, and it done very well. Not at the box office, but on DVD sales and television, and any votes for sci-fi films, Serenity is always high up there. So if you look at that as a case study, you'll see how people got their voices heard and how they managed to make Firefly such a popular show, not only because it deserved to be, but they managed to spread the word of mouth, and which is what we as writers need to get. We need to get word of mouth about our products out there so that people can start reading them, and they'll read them, they'll tell other people will buy our books, and that's how it'll work, hopefully. Now, Firefly done it in a number of ways, or Firefly fans done it in a number of ways. So Facebook was in its infancy, but it was going strong at that point, and a lot of people used Facebook. There was email campaigns. The one that interested me most, there was a number of different podcasts that came out, because it was based around the kind of technology within the show itself. And there was a great one called The Signal, and it analysed episodes of the show. It done little segments like how to learn Chinese, because in the show they speak American English and Chinese Mandarin. So there are a couple of ways that you could promote your book. You could try and use Facebook. I've got a Facebook page for the novel series. I don't really want to air my personal Facebook page. I also have a public Twitter account for my writing, which I use for that. And I'm doing these blogs as well, which is another way of trying to get the word out about the books that I've written. There's various other social media forums out there that you can try and use. I've not used them to the fullest extent, but I would recommend some of them to you. One of the best ones I've had results from is Pinterest. So Pinterest is basically a picture sharing site where you can create like an album that people can view. Now, one of the albums I've put on was images that inspired Spirits of Vengeance. So whenever I'm writing a book or making a film, I'll put a folder on my computer, and it's just called the Project Inspiration. And with Spirit of Vengeance, I used to just browse the internet, and I'd be looking for epic fantasy pictures that I thought kind of gave the character or setting that I was looking for to write about. So it wasn't stealing. I wasn't looking at the character and going, oh, that's my character. I was looking at them going, that's a nice aspect of the character, or I like the way that's been drawn, or I like the certain weapon that they're using. Just little bits of and pieces to provide you with inspiration for your work. and I collected them all in a folder, and then I published most of it on Pinterest. So with Pinterest, you don't have to have the rights to the pictures, you just kind of link them and like them and put a pin in it, as they say. And a lot of people have liked the album on Spirits of Vengeance, I think more than I've actually bought the book, which is interesting. But that's been quite good for me, because people have liked the album, and it's got the name of the book on it. Other ways you could do it would be to launch a blog. Now I'm doing a video blog because I do a lot of writing, and I don't think I could do a book writing blog on top of that. But it's easy to speak on camera for 10-20 minutes at a time, then edit it. But people keep blogs. Sometimes they use WordPress, sometimes they use Tumblr. Another site that I haven't frequented as much as I would like, and it is growing in popularity, and a number of people have said to me, why haven't you done anything on Reddit? So Reddit is like a place where people go and just have discussions and forums. And one of the interesting things that Reddit offers for pretty much anyone is a Reddit AMA. So AMA stands for Ask Me Anything. And usually it will be actors or directors or writers will go on there, and people will ask them questions about their shows or their books or their works or just life in general. And some of them can be quite funny, and some of them not so much. But as new writers, you might find that an AMA might not be suited to you, because there won't be a lot of people looking to ask you questions. I could be very wrong, and you might want to do that for yourself. Now, going back to the one I mentioned earlier, which was Twitter. Twitter is a great place to engage in people. It doesn't necessarily get links to your book or to your website, but it is a great place to speak to people and engage with not only potential readers, but also potential book bloggers, book reviewers. If you're going to do being a free Kindle offer, initially if you're using Kindle KDP, and there'll be numerous Twitter accounts that will link your book, and they'll be known as like Free Kindle Daily or Free Kindle, things like that. So if you search Twitter for those types of keywords, you'll find the people that have those accounts, and you'll also have people that follow them. So you can add both and kind of amass a good list of contacts, and you can then speak to them. I find Twitter works best as an engagement tool. I don't like promoting the book through it, and I don't think a lot of people will click the link and buy it through Twitter. It's not like an advertising site in the way that Facebook kind of is now. But it is good to speak to people and say, you know, I see you like fantasy. Have you seen my book? If not, tell them what it's about. And you know, it's nice like that. A lot of people with Twitter will add a direct message automatically if you add them, so it'll send you to a Facebook site or a direct site. I don't have that. I don't like automated messages. I like talking to people, or like chatting to people live. So it is. I don't like a robot doing it for me. I'm old-fashioned that way, so maybe that's something I should maybe get over with myself. Now, with Twitter and with Facebook as well, you can add a profile picture, you can add a profile header and a banner, and Twitter especially give you the dimensions you need to do it for all different types of devices. So you can put a banner that will work for mobile, and then a slightly bigger banner that will work for desktop, and you need to put the elements so that they all work on the same thing. And that means that when someone likes you and potentially visits your profile, they will see whatever your profile background is. So I've made mine the Spirits of Vengeance front cover. I've just tweaked it a little to fit the Twitter page. I've also done that with the Facebook page as well. So that's all real I've got to say about social media. There are hundreds of different social media outlets now. Some are very small and niche. Several that I've not mentioned at the moment is like Google+. I've not really explored Google+ much because it is very much similar to Facebook, and I use Facebook fairly regularly. There is also Google Hangouts, which act similar to Reddit AMA, so you invite people to come and chat to you about your project and stuff. Again, I don't think I've got a big enough readership to justify sitting in front of a computer for an hour and waiting for people to come and chat to me. I'd rather do it through YouTube, and if anyone wants to, they can approach me afterwards and ask any questions about the latest video or book blog, or if they've read the book and they're dying to ask me what happens next, I might give them a little tidbit. But like I said, it's solely up to yourself how you get your word of mouth out there. Like I said, there's hundreds of social media outlets. You could start your own podcast. You could give out leaflets in the street. There's hundreds of ways you could get the word out of your book. But the point is to get word out, because good word spreads. So does bad, so make sure your book's good, but good word of mouth will spread and sell your book far better than any other form of medium, unless you have a large advertising budget and you can reach a wide amount of people by putting an advert on a tube or a bus or TV or the internet. But yeah, social media is the key to getting your book noticed and sold. The other site that I neglected to mention, which is probably the biggest one for writers, is Goodreads. Goodreads is kind of like the Facebook for reading. So people go on, they review the books that they've read, they add books to their wish list so that they can see what they want to read. But Goodreads also offers authors an author page. So you can set up an author profile and you can invite people to read your book, and you also get people to list their reviews on Goodreads separately. So on Goodreads at the moment, I think I have 6 or 7 reviews ranging between 4 and 5 stars, which is, you know, delightful to me. I'd love it to be a lot more, but to get a few 5-star reviews is magical for my first book, and it's there on Goodreads for the world to see. So when someone looks at my book, they can see that a few people have read it, they have enjoyed it and loved it, and the reason why, and then they can base on their review whether or not they should read it. That's pretty much it for the social media. I'm going to talk about some other aspects of marketing in the future, but that'll be more like live events, like book launches, and what you can do to sell your book out with the internet, you can do it in the physical world without costing you an arm and a leg. But that'll be for the next one, because I've rattled on for a bit too long here. So until next time, nanu nanu.